guys, how's it going? Caitlin here, and welcome to my kitchen for another week of meal prep. I hope that you're excited. At the end of this, we're going to have 3 meals prepared, ready to go. It's just gonna set you up for success this week, okay? So on the menu this week, we have cashew chicken, we have Southwestern sandwiches, and we also have pancakes. So lots to look forward to if it sounds good to you. Be sure to get your prep list, get your groceries, your favorite kitchen tools all together so that we are, nice and organized. If you don't have your prep list, check the description of this video. You're gonna see the link. It's gonna take you to the resources for everything you need to make your week work, okay? So without any further ado, I do have 3 varying levels of prep depending on your level of motivation and perhaps your time constraints today. If you do wanna get the time to table results you see in the meal plan, you're gonna wanna go all the way with me to level 3, okay? So I'm gonna actually start with level 3. Part of level 3 because it's stuff that's going to do itself while we're doing other things, and that's how we gain our time back throughout the week, okay? So I'm going to start off by making some rice, okay? So is it hard to make? No. Does it take time? Yes. So we're just going to make it a little easier. I'm gonna do mine in the microwave. You can do yours on the stove top. You can do it in whatever creative way you have found to make rice. If it's ingenious, let me know. Don't gatekeep this stuff. Share it with a friend. I'm just gonna give this a quick rinse. If you don't rinse your rice, you're probably fine. It does take some contaminants off of the rice, so if you eat rice frequently, which, I mean, if you're gluten-free, odds are you probably do, it's not a bad idea just to get in the habit of doing it. Also now, if you are doing bacon with your Southwestern sandwiches, you can cook your bacon now. You can use ready cooked bacon if you prefer to do that. We're doing ham this week. So I just have deli meat ham, and it's just going on top of the egg mixture because I don't do ham. I don't do smoked or cured. The rest of my family does, so that's like kind of our workaround. So let's go to our level 1, shall we? Just gonna cut up and chunk up a couple peppers. This is for the cashew chicken, so you can cut them in whatever shape or size or design. Man, if you make designs, let me know, because I think that would be really cool. I just had imagining almost like Lucky Charms, except for stir fry edition. If I had these cut into little stars and hearts and stuff like that, man, I think my kids might actually not fight about their vegetables as much. Maybe I have to try that. My husband's gonna think I lost my mind if I do that. Not doing it today. I don't think it would be that tricky. Get some cookie cutters, and me and hubby would eat all the odd pieces. Kids would eat the fun shapes. Might be onto something here. You never know what kind of stuff you're gonna come up with when you're prepping. I do personally to find a time of day for my prep where I don't feel burnt out or dumb yet in the day. So I don't care who you are, every day reaches that point, I think. There we go. Let's see. Get some more veggies, gonna peel a couple carrots, thinly slice them. It's crazy the difference even just having your veggies prepared makes. But like all around, prep is what makes your meal plan possible. Or it does for me anyway. Like I find I could write myself a meal plan and be like, yeah, I'm gonna eat these things this week. But when it comes right down to it, it'll be 5 o'clock and I don't feel motivated to chop up a whole bunch of things. I don't wanna spend 20 minutes cutting up vegetables. And I don't even know how. It doesn't make sense. It defies all logic. But it takes me as long to prep 3 meals right now as it does for me to prep 1 meal for supper. It makes no sense. I mean, there's still gonna be the time for things to like, you know, cook, because obviously things need to cook. But it's so much easier if I can just throw things together and throw it on the stovetop or throw it in the oven. It's the prep that's the hard part. That's why meal kits and stuff like that feel so good, right? Because everything's prepared for you. You throw it all together and it's magically done. But you can create that same experience, but when you're doing it yourself, you have the ultimate flexibility, right? Like, if you don't like something that goes with it, if you're intolerant to something that goes with it, you are behind the wheel. So I'm going to chop up half an onion. If you want to, you can chop up the whole onion and then you have chopped onion available for other recipes this week. Or what you could also choose to do with the other half of the onion is slice it up and throw it in with your, cashew chicken. Because why the heck not? That is one of the benefits of doing this as well, is you can look at your ingredients and be like, oh, I need to use some of this throughout the week, and then you can really think, what's on my menu, how can I use it, how can I incorporate it into something? And if you cannot incorporate it into something, that is okay too. That is perfectly okay. So I'm going to do half of a pepper as well. If you want to put the rest of your pepper into your cashew chicken or slice it up to use as veggies for veggies and dip on the side, all great ideas, if I do say so myself. So I'm just going to chop these up. Didn't chop so well. Now I need to put more heart into it. Must just be a gummy onion. Sorry. Okay. There you go. If you want to put any other veggies into your Southwestern, you go wild. I try to put enough that I can still like sneak it past the kids and be like, yeah, well, it's mostly eggs. You know, there's just a little something in there. If they're not complaining at least a little bit during dinner, it means I've failed somehow, I think. Okay. Gonna shred up some lettuce for the sandwiches. If you want to have side salad or something like that, you can shred up more. I am shredding up Napa cabbage, and because I'm mostly grain-free. I eat a lot grain-free. I try to avoid a lot of grains, not religiously, like sustainably, because I just find that I feel better when I don't have much for grains. That's just what I've discovered about myself over the years. So if I stick to like 90% grain-free, then when I do decide to have some, it's not so dramatic. If I have it like every day, it doesn't treat me well. Chronic pain and stuff like that is just so much worse when I have more grains in my diet. However, Napa cabbage, it is like my favorite all-around grain replacement. And you're gonna wonder, like, how can you have a favorite all-around grain replacement? It is extremely flexible. Not just the fact that it's bendy, but Napa cabbage, it's soft enough that I don't mind using it as lettuce. It's firm enough that I don't mind using it as a coleslaw. I also like using it as rice if I am doing like for the cashew chicken. I'm going to lightly salt and saute some Napa cabbage, and that's going to work for me instead of rice. I'll also use it instead of pasta. I'll put it into sauces and such. Okay, for some reason it kind of reminds me of, you know, when you get a package and it has like all the shredded paper in it? It reminds me of the shredded paper, but I'm like, can you use too much Napa cabbage? Can you eat too much Napa cabbage? And I really don't think so. I think it's just for using it as a grain replacement. I think I'm probably coming out on top nutrition-wise. But it makes it so easy if you can use it in multiple dishes. Then I'll just chop up the whole thing for the start of the week, and then I'm just covered for salads and rice and all the rest of it. You gotta make it, you have to make it easier to eat the way you want to eat. Like if it's easier to meal plan than it is to put together your meal plan than it is to get takeout, you're going to succeed with the meal plan. If it is easier to eat grain-free than eat the grains, then you're going to stick to a grain-free diet. It's when we leave things up to our motivation. Like leaving things up to motivation is about as good as leaving it to chance. Maybe worse, because you know you're not always going to be motivated. Nobody is. So it's so much better rather than to just think blindly like, oh, I wasn't motivated before, but I'm going to be now. No, you won't. Instead, just realize that you're not a perfect person, that you're human, and you have times where you're tired, frustrated, lazy, sick, just not feeling it. Motivation, if it's something that you're counting on, then you're setting yourself up for letdown. I love feeling motivated. I hate motivation. Okay, cool. So, whether you're shredding lettuce, or whether you're doing napa cabbage, whether you did a little bit, or whether you did the whole thing, just so that you were ready. Ready for whatever life throws at you. You're done. Level 1, my friends. Awesome. Next, level 2. Okay, just gonna do like, honestly, some really, a couple really lazy things that look like nothing, but it can be the straw that broke the camel's back. So, gonna throw together some tapioca, salt, and pepper. Yes, it takes no time at all. However, most prep doesn't take time. Most prep doesn't take effort. It's the timing. It's the timing that will be your enemy many times. Okay. Like the fact this is just going to be ready to mix with my chicken for the cashew chicken. It's just going to make that just a wee little bit easier. It's easier, I'll do it. Okay. Let's go. Gonna throw together. This is, I'm like, what am I doing? Sauce. Once again, not hard stuff. It's just, sometimes it'll feel hard. We want to get around that. So this stir fry, the cashew chicken, is actually one of my kids' favorite, I would say, of all the stir fries that we do. It's the one that it's like, ew, I don't want that. And then you're like, oh, it's cashew chicken. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, okay. So of course, they have to say ew before asking what it is. It's like sight unseen. It has to be gross till it goes in their mouth. Here we go. So that's the sauce. Sauce all ready to go. Shred some cheese up. Give me any kind of cheese that you want. It's going either in your eggs or on your sandwich. Since I am dairy-free as well, I'm the problem child in the family. The cheese goes on their sandwiches, or odds are on the side for my kids. Like, they still just, they're at the stage where they don't like eating things kind of together. They'd rather it all separate and recognizable. So their sandwich will be like avocado here, ham here, egg here, cheese there. They probably won't even have bread because they just won't even care, to be honest. Which is fine. Like, whatever you do what works for you. These ingredients, they're pretty basic, so they're quite flexible. Speaking of flexible, make this time yours. If you want to prep yourself some breakfast or ingredients for breakfast or anything like that, take this time and do that. So if you know you want extra grated cheese for the week, grate up some extra cheese for the week. Like, you already get the things out, you're already making the mess. If you make all the mess once, it's less cleanup. There's some cheese taken care of. Cool. Now we're gonna make Southwest sauce. Okay, this is like probably one of my favorite sauces. It's really good for sandwiches. It's good for wraps. Also good for dipping veggies in. So if you want to have veggies in dip, you can use extra sauce on the side of that if you want. If you have extra sauce and you're looking for ideas on what to do with it, you can go on my website and just search Southwest sauce and see there's a few recipes that'll come back to there. Probably more in the future because obviously it's delicious. Here we go. Got an herb mill here for my cilantro. If you don't have an herb mill, that's fine. You're fine. Everything is fine. Not required. It's just kind of a nice little bonus for chopping it up. Maybe you have herb shears, also a nice one. Now I have the recipe there, 2 tablespoons. You can absolutely like ish it, okay? Absolutely you can ish it. You can ish anything. Okay, I probably put a lot in there. And you know what? I'm at peace with that. I'm gonna even put more cilantro on my actual sandwich too. Yeah, that might be over 2 tablespoons. I'll have to apologize to my husband. There's like the people who love the cilantro and then the people who don't. And of course, the two get married and continually fight about the cilantro. But it never looks like that much to me. So you can use absolutely any like Southwest feel seasoning you want to. I have one that's called Southwestern. I've used Chipotle. I've used taco seasoning. Anything that kind of has, you know, that Tex-Mexy kind of vibe is perfect. Let's see you. Here we go. So you can totally skip this step of making this, and you can just use, if you have a spicy mayo or any kind of Southwest kind of sauce that you like or what have you, go wild. Go wild. I like this one. I'd probably like yours too. So there we go. Next, we're going to combine the dry ingredients for pancakes. Love me some pancakes. So, whether I make a single or a double right now is going to be completely dependent on how much tapioca starch I have. And I think I got enough for a double. Which, if I can make a double batch of pancakes, I will always make the double batch of pancakes because these ones actually reheat really well too. And you don't have to use my recipe for pancakes. You can use your own recipe for pancakes. And if you were making bacon, like you could be making bacon to go with your pancakes at the same time as you're making bacon to go in your Southwest sandwiches. Okay. Just having the dry mix already done up. It doesn't take very long either, but you know what? It makes a huge difference. Just for that, once again, the motivation factor, right? So, not hard to make that at all. I'm just gonna put it in this same bowl, and I'm gonna use this as a mixing bowl day of too. have one last thing to do, guys. And that is just cubing up some chicken for the cashew chicken. Just fluffing my rice while it's still warm there. So before you do your chicken, make sure you are absolutely done with your cutting board, because if you still have plans for it, those plans are going to be pretty well destroyed after you put your chicken on there. Which is obviously why this is the last thing that we're doing. Not my favorite part of prep, but you know what? It saves me doing it later. I find, like, I'm not naturally inclined to prep like this either, but I've gotten addicted to the feeling of being prepared for my dinners because it just feels so much better. It reduces that overwhelm. On the days that I don't have something prepared, I hate that scramble. I hate the scramble of, what are we gonna have? I don't know. What are we gonna have? What do you want to make? What do we have in the freezer? What can we do fast? Oh, it's gonna be too late. I hate that. It is just not a good feeling. Nobody likes that feeling. This is like you're doing a favor to your future self right here. Oh, I was gonna say, but I find it kind of like, I don't know if you've ever had those days where you're like, I just don't want to exercise. But you go, you do the first 5 minutes, and then you're in the zone, right? Same thing with prep. You do that first 5 minutes and you're in the zone. And then you can just kind of keep going with it and love yourself that you did it afterwards. It is very much like the gym, actually, and probably almost any other task in life. All right, here we go, guys. We are done. We are done. You guys have prepared 3 meals ready to go. I hope that you enjoy the feeling of being prepared this week. I hope you enjoy the meals, and I do hope to see you next week as well. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.